now, let's get into spoilers. So, right now, spoiler warning. If you do not want to know specific details and events from season 1, 2, and 3 of Stranger Things and potential theories and spoilers for season 4, you want to stop the video right now and leave. I'm going to give you a few seconds to make up your mind if you're going to keep going or not. Everyone who doesn't care or who's seen the show is still here? Alright, cool. So, I want to talk about favorites and then into my favorite scenes of each season that you definitely am like, oh, okay, I like this show. So, season 1, I don't think I had a favorite of everyone. Everyone played a key role in the story, and I loved it. Like, I definitely like 11 trying to figure out herself, pretty much. Like, she's been treated as an experiment her whole life, and that's all she knows. And she's exploring life and feeling joy. And I love the dynamic between the 4 children. The 5th child, Will, he's not there because, you know, he's in the Upside Down. That we're not, like, we as the, like, the audience, we're like, he was abducted, but you don't know where he went. Then you find out he's in the Upside Down, and that is a very resilient kid, because I don't know if I would have made it. I don't know. But I definitely thought that was interesting that everything circled around Will, but they didn't make it feel like blah, like we're talking about Will all the time. It's like, we need to find Will, we need to understand what happened to him, who did it, and all those other things. And the Department of Energy, man, the cover-up for everything, it's just like, wow, like, and I think it's based off of, like, a story rumor of a government facility running experiments and tests on people trying to do this crazy stuff back in the 80s, like the 60s and 70s. And so I thought that was very intriguing that they based a lot of these things off of, like, a real experiment that actually happened, which we find out more about in season 2 and season 3. So pretty much, so you have 11, Mike is the main kid that we follow in season 1. He's like the ringleader. Then you have Will, Dustin, and then Lucas. Will is the kid that went missing, Dustin, and then Lucas. So, I thought it was kind of weird because it was only one black kid, but I also have to think about it's like semi-suburbia in Indiana in the 80s. Everything is kind of weird, and so I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense. So I actually was very happy that there at least was one person of color I could connect to. And I like his attitude in the first season, like he didn't believe nothing, which is understandable, because like, if you're saying that your friend's not dead or this, that, and the other, I'd be suspicious. Like, he was very suspicious, which is good. You need to be suspicious of new people, because you never know. They could be causing you harm. My favorite scene from season 1 is when they are running from the Department of Energy. They find out where she is, because yes, they're trying to chase her because she escapes. And they find out where they are, and they're racing down their bicycles down the street. And I swear it reminds me of the scene from E.T., where they're fleeing NASA and whoever the other scientists, government scientists were. And I thought she was going to levitate them off the ground, but she took it up a notch. She flipped a whole van over them. That thing was awesome. I don't know how they filmed that, but that was great. Oh, I love that. Was like one of my favorite scenes. Things that made me sad was Barbara. Rest in peace, Barbara. Like, I'm happy that, like, they didn't let that storyline die. Like, that carried through the whole show. And it's just like, man, they did Barbara dirty. I did like Barbara. It was very sad that she was only in, like, what, the first 2-3 episodes, and then she became a plot point. And I'm like, oh, Barbara, I'm sorry. Rest in peace, Barbara. So yeah. Then we have the teenagers. There's 3 teenagers we follow in season 1. We have Steve, who's the cool kid. Nancy, who is Mike's older sister, who's very smart, but she can't figure out if she wants to be a cool kid or not. And then you have Jonathan, who's Will's older brother, and he's kind of an outcast. Their whole family is seen as the weird family, so everyone just doesn't want to be bothered with him. They think he's creepy, he takes photos and everything. I will say, Jonathan, I wasn't sure how I felt about him in the beginning. I was like, you are a little creepy, you're not being a good brother, you seem like you're all over the place. But when you realize the whole situation, it's just when you're socially awkward, and you're also trying to deal with the fact that your brother going missing could be your fault, and he's trying to be there for his family and, like, stand in for the dad that left them. He's like, he has a lot on his shoulders. So I get it. I do like his character arc where he opens up and he doesn't seem as creepy. He just seems like a kid that doesn't know how to be around other people because he's not into the same things they are. Nancy was a little annoying. but also she's in high school. Like, that's how you are in high school. You don't know which group you want to be in, if you want to be with this clique. If you're going to date this guy, you got to be with his friends, all this other stuff. Steve was annoying, but it was understandable because he's a cool kid who didn't know what was going on. And he's trying to be a good boyfriend, and it's just like, he's trying to fight his image and how he feels. And you just find out Steve is a nice, sensitive guy. He's just listening to everyone else talk around him, and he's trying to personify that. So those are 3 teenagers. Their dynamic, I feel like, was okay. It does get better and stronger over time. Only thing that made me upset was Nancy went back to Steve at the end of season 1. What? Nancy, do not go with the safe choice. Don't do it. Like, I understand Steve is very attractive, but no. Nancy. So that's season 1. My goodness, a lot happened in season 1, and I'm happy Will was alive. Because I thought he was going to die. I thought he was definitely dead by episode 4, but they proved me wrong. And I love the bond between Eleven and Mike. I thought it was very adorable. I was like, aw, they're cute. Yeah, so season 2 is when we get introduced to the Mind Flayer, which is a creature from the Upside Down that's not the Demogorgon, but runs the Demogorgon. And you don't know what he fully looks like. You just see him as a shadow figure, and he's haunting Will. And you don't know, like, is he hallucinating? Is he having PTSD? Or is this thing actually trying to get in contact with him? Because he is definitely the link. He is the only human that they know of that has gone into the Upside Down and survived and came back. So, also, they almost killed him because they had the little alien thing happen, but they were able to get it out of him. Well, some of it. He threw up a little piece of it at the end of season 1. So, that's his point. The Upside Down infesting the area, I was just like, oh, that would make sense because it's an open hole in another universe with spores and toxins that the hole is not sealed off. That stuff's going to leak through. And the fact that they never thought until halfway through the season, like, maybe it goes further down. Which I think they knew, but they weren't 100% sure until they, like, let's double check. And it's just like, that hole was huge. It was like a whole crack in the earth. I liked how they did Steve in season 2. He became one of my favorites because he has matured and grown, and I liked where his story went. I love his connection with Dustin. Like, their whole brotherly romance thing is so adorable. Like, but like, they connect so well, and it's so cute that it's like he's being a mentor almost. And these kids are teaching him humility to care about other people besides himself, which I love that. Now I understand the whole Mom Steve or whatever, Steve's being the mom of these kids, because he is like a parent caring for these kids, trying to make sure they don't get in trouble. So I did love that. Max and Billy were nice additions. It's just, I feel like we didn't get a whole lot of their character. Like, you got Billy is like a tomboy, she's a little rebel, and she's trying to deal with the fact that her family moved and is being blamed on her. And then you have the brother, Billy, who is an extreme a-hole, but you're like, is he upset that they moved? Is he upset that pretty much he's being told that that's his sister, but he's her stepbrother? So it's just like, I don't know if, like, you're trying to figure out. Then you get ideas and hints that, like, it's really all the dad/stepdad that's the whole issue. But, like, I like that they brought that up, and I thought they were going to do more with it in season 3, and then they dropped it in season 3. Like, it only came up 2 times. But they never went more into that dynamic of that family and, like, how it is a very toxic family home environment. Like, they don't go into it. Like, go into it. They didn't. So that was a downside for me for season 3, that they didn't go more into that family dynamic between Billy, Max, and the parents. Like, the parents just phased out in season 3. Like, where was the parents? I did like that the parents in season 1 got bigger roles in season 2. I thought that was kind of funny, especially Mike's mom. She just did a whole thing, and I'm just like, yeah, you can definitely tell she got married so she can have a stable home life. But I don't know. Like, they show that she might not love her husband, but they've been together so long, she might as well just keep riding it out. Yeah, like, my goodness, Mike's dad is something else. I don't even know how to describe him. He seems like he's there, but not there. You know, like, he's physically there, but mentally he just is somewhere else. He does not care. He's oblivious to everything. Is that just all 80s dads? They just worked and came home and ate and knocked out? Like, is that it? Don't know. My dog. Oh my goodness. Dart was adorable, and then he got creepy, but then he was still kind of adorable. He was like an ugly adorable, you know, like you're cute because you're ugly type of thing. I did like Dart, and I like that he didn't fully kill Dustin. He just was getting aggressive, like all animals do when they're not in their natural habitat. They start getting aggressive. So, yeah, he was kind of adorable. He was a little gross looking. I would never touch him. I don't like slimy things, but like he was cute. 11 and Hopper. I thought that was a good add to the show. I did like that relationship of someone who had a father, but he wasn't a father figure, and someone who had a daughter, but she's passed. So they're trying to fill the hole for each other, pretty much. He's trying to protect her, but he's being overprotective. And she's trying to trust him, but then she feels like she can't trust him because of everything she's experienced and everything he's doing. And it's just, pretty much, it just shows parenting is hard. And he's pretty much her adoptive father. And it's just, like, dynamics, man. Like, I love the two actors. Like, they did really well with that scene. Like, the whole thing. Then, like, I love that 11 went on a journey to figure herself out. It did get weird when she met the other girl who was captured with her, who fled at like before the events of season 1 happened. I liked it up until the end point, because then I was like, where was that storyline going? Was she only supposed to learn how to use her powers better? Like, did she just need someone training her on, like, use your emotions? Like, don't be afraid of them. Use it to your best ability to control her abilities. I'm not 100% sure if that's what the story was doing. I thought it was really cool that that girl can make people see whatever she wanted them to see. But, like, I want to know what happened to that group. Like, did they get arrested? Are they dead? Do other people know what's going on with her? Like, I want to know what happened to 8. I don't remember what her name was, but she was 8 and 11's 11. And her name's Jane. I keep forgetting. 11's real name is Jane, but no one uses it, which I thought was weird in season 3. It's like, use the name you were given. Say Jane. Don't say 11. But it's whatever. But yeah, I don't know where they were taking that. That was a little downside of the show. It's like, you bring up this cool idea, and then you're like opening it up to like, were there other children? Why was she 8 and why was she 11? What happened to 9 and 10? What happened to 1 through 7? Like, they just didn't do anything with it. So that did make me a little sad. Oh my goodness. So the other new addition for season 2 was Bob, who's played by Sean Astin, who, if you all know, is Sam from Lord of the Rings. That's where I know him from most. He's also that one kid from Goonies. I don't remember his character's name, but he was in that movie as well. And I loved him. He was a great character. Bob, oh my goodness, they did Bob so dirty. Like, why did Bob have to die? Why did they have to kill him? That just hurt me so bad. Were they opening it up for Joyce and Hopper in season 3? Because if that's the only reason, that hurts my feelings. Like, Joyce was so happy, and then they just ripped it away from her. It's like, man, why? That was really hurtful. I did like that it didn't focus mostly on Mike. It focused on everyone else this season. And I think some people, I think that hurt them, because they're like, what is Mike there to do? Pretty much, it's, you see Mike is withdrawn because he's lost someone he really cared for, or he believes he lost her, because we all thought 11 died at the end of season 1. And he's just trying to deal with that. Like, he lost his friend and he came back. Then he lost this girl and she never came back. So he's just, like, dealing with it. So, like, yes, he's withdrawn, and yes, he's only hanging out with Will because Will kind of gets it, because Will's a little withdrawn because he survived death almost. So I was okay with how they did Mike's character in season 2. Season 3. It started off a little slow for me. Just a little bit. But they had to get back into, like, where they were, like, you know, in summer. You've seen relationships, like, transform. You see people in different lights. Like, you have couples happening, and they're teenagers, and then there's the mall happens. The mall was really cool. So I did like the fact that it wanted to take part in just showing where everyone was at, and then how everyone's aged, and how basically, because they're all trying to date, because they're all interested in girls, well, almost all of them, Will's not interested in girls. He's just not interested in anything. He just wants to stay a kid and do kid stuff. He wants to play Dungeons and Dragons. And his friends are interested in girls. So that does kind of almost tear the group apart because they're not interested in the same things anymore. They don't do the same stuff anymore. I wish they went further with that idea of their friendship being torn apart by them having different interests. But it got cut off because a extreme danger was coming. Because the Mind Flayer came back. If you have a great villain and he wasn't fully dead, might as well keep going. The Russian part I thought was intriguing. I just don't know how they knew about this thing. That's the only thing that's not explained. How did they know about the Upside Down, the portal, and that you need extreme energy to open it? What were they hoping to take from it? I don't know. They need to answer those questions in Season 4. I need those answered. How did the Russians know about it? What were they going to use it for? How did they plan on using it? I need to know. So, oh yeah, the fact that Season 3 basically happens in the course of like a week almost. Like maybe 3 to 4 days, but I think it's like a course of a whole week this happens. It is insane. Because you think it's a month, but you realize like, wait, no. It's like almost a week. Everything happens quickly. I really liked Alexei. He was a really good addition to the show. I was very sad when they killed him. Rest in peace, Alexei. He was so adorable. Like, yes, he is a Russian, and he's technically evil, but he's doing his job, and he likes science, and he doesn't want to die. So it's just really sad that, like, he gets happy because he thinks he can get out this whole situation alive, and then he doesn't. And that was a very sad scene. Rest in peace, Alexei. I don't know what could happen, Alexei, if they kept him alive. I don't know, but, you know. Yeah, and then Hopper and Joyce. I don't like that they were trying to force it to happen. Like, she's mourning the loss of her lover, her boyfriend from Season 2, and we come to find out it's like, what, 6 months later? So, like, no one bounces back from that very quickly. And I understand Hopper is lonely, and he's a parent, and he's trying to do something else with his life besides be a parent and a cop. I get it. But, like, I didn't like that they were trying to force it. Like, he could have just been respectful and not think, like, oh, it's been enough time. Like, just let it happen naturally. Don't force it. Them arguing like a married couple, I believe that. Like, I have that relationship with a lot of my friends where people thought we were dating. I'm like, no, we're not dating. We just argue because you know someone so well and you're just like, please, just do the thing. I thought that part was funny, actually. Them arguing all the time was kind of funny. Yes, sometimes it did get a little overbearing, but I'm like, that's what happens when two people can't figure out what they are. And it's just like, do we stay friends? Are we more than friends? Do I want to be bothered with you? Is this just, what is this? So, I just didn't like that they were trying to force them to be a couple, but I did like their dynamic because that shows real friends. Like, real friends argue. It's not all buddy-buddy happy all the time. Sometimes you argue because you disagree. It happens. So, overall, I definitely loved every season. My favorite of the teenagers was Steve. Like, Steve definitely, Jonathan, Nancy, then Billy. Billy was okay. I just feel like Billy could have been used better. But I did like how Billy came on top at the end of Season 3. It just really hurts that you know that he was just a very vulnerable, angry kid because his life situations was not in his favor. Which is very unfortunate that, like, we'll never have that resolved fully. But yeah, it's like, I'm prepared for Season 4. We know Hopper's alive because everyone saw the teaser. Hopper's alive! How did he survive? We thought he died in Season 3. So I saw some theories online. I'm definitely going to link those theories at the end of this video. But pretty much one theory is Hopper somehow jumped into the Upside Down before the thing closed and then came on the other side and got captured by the Russians. Another theory is that he just somehow didn't die when the machine blew up and got captured by the Russians and they took him with them when they fled the scene. So I don't know which one it is. I'm trying to figure out, it looks like some of it's going to take place in Russia, so I'm really trying to figure out how are they going to play out Season 4, how are they going to tell the kids that Hopper's alive, how would they know. These things I'm very curious. 11 doesn't have her powers. So I think that's going to be an interesting start because she relied on it too much. Everyone relied on 11 too much. I did not like that they treated her like a weapon. Pretty much like, we'll try, but we know at the end of the day 11's going to save us because she has psychic abilities. But it's going to be interesting to see how would they take care of themselves and fight for themselves if they're major players out of the game. I do want to see how this is going to go. So the kids are split up, and the teenagers are split up, even the adults. So I'm really trying to see where we're going to take off. Apparently, we got hints from the last episode that they might all come back together around Thanksgiving and Christmas, so it might be another winter-related season, but we'll see. I'm very curious, and I hope to see more. Let me know in the comments below how you think Hopper survived. I really do want to know. And so yeah, that's my take on Stranger Things. I'm happy I watched it. I'm happy I finally got to watch it. I'm happy I just stopped being scared of it. I'm excited for season 4, and when it comes out, I'm going to watch it immediately. Yeah, I can't wait till they drop a new trailer too, but with everything going on, it's going to definitely be a while. So, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope I've enticed you. Oh, yes! I forgot one thing. How did I forget Robin from season 3? I liked Robin. She was a good addition, and I did like her character. And her and Steve, I loved it. I loved every bit of it. It's just, I can't wait to see where that relationship's going to blossom to in season 4. So I'm excited. Season 4, hopefully we will know more. Thank you again for making through this. Sorry, I just had a random thought come out of nowhere. My brain does that sometimes. So yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Please comment below which was your favorite scene from each season. Which season was your favorite? Who's your favorite character? Do you have a favorite, or you like everyone as a group? Please let me know in the comments below. I would love to know more. And alright, that's everything.